I don't know about you, but I do really enjoy a good tower defense game. The idea of needing to figure out which towers to use, along with fun mazes to come up with, so that you can slow down the horde, while also giving yourself enough time to take them down. It's that mix of strategy and puzzle-like elements that keeps things so engaging. Now in modern day, we have seen all sorts of variations on this formula, plus lots of opportunity to add in that addictive progression, to keep the player coming back for a long time. Keep them hooked and engaged while in a match or a level, and then provide them with something that they can earn and then unlock for another game. So I know that Orcs Must Die has been a long-running series. I have dabbled with it here and there, and had a good time with it, and recently I had the opportunity to play the new one, Orcs Must Die Deathtrap, and today we're going to dive into that for a bit.
I won't even remember you. $4. Let's get these traps going. Reloading.
Based on my time with Orcs Must Die Deathtrap, I had a lot of fun with this title. The mixture of third-person action with tower defense is really enjoyable, while some of the character designs do seem to range from eccentric to maybe being a bit too Fortnite-like. I did like other aspects of the presentation, from the soundtrack to the levels, along with the environmental visuals. It's a bright and colorful game. The game action is good and has many different hooks to keep the player interested and especially invested in this title for a while. I would sit down to play and find myself wanting to go back to it for one reason or another. Maybe I wanted to try out a different strategy, a new trap that I just earned. See how a new upgrade would be compared to how I had it before. It puts you in this nice fun flow state, if that makes any sense, where while playing you're enjoying the action, figuring out the best move on how to handle the next wave and all of that, then reacting while on the fly to ensure a proper defense, while also spending your rewards in the various shops back at the base, which can then make you want to go back into another match. It's an addictive cycle.
Had to be done. Let's give them a little surprise from above. Reloading.
So for those of you who have never played a game in this series, what is Orcs Must Die like? Well, it's a mixture of a third-person action game and a tower defense game. You start a level out with a set amount of funds. The game indicates where the enemies will be coming from for that wave, and then it's up to you to figure out the best way to mount a defense. For example, you have a set amount of walls, which can help to funnel enemies into a certain path, so that then you can make a better use of your own traps, or you could use them to outright block a path, so that, say, ground enemies cannot attack you from a certain direction. As I understand it, this does then not stop enemies such as flyers, since they're just going to go right over your walls. You are trying to think 2 steps ahead during the planning phase, and I like how you can take all the time you want to really figure out the best approach. The game does a good job of giving you the information you need. You know the enemies, where they are going to be coming from, but how do you defend that central point effectively so that you can then survive this wave and also the ones coming after? Plus, most waves will have enemies spawning in from multiple directions, which means that a proper defense can significantly aid you in managing all of that chaos. So at the start here, you have a lot to consider. What do you want to put down? Which traps should I focus on? What kind of walls or puzzle-like mazes can I make to aid me? When you are first starting out, you may not know the best approach to do, but I did find that trying by doing was the best way to learn, and I got a lot out of it. So you spend most of the start of a level or a wave just preparing. This sets your foundation for the rest of the level. You can come back from a poor start, but I very much found that the better I did at the very start helped me out later on. I haven't had a chance to play around with all the traps, but the ones that I did get to use are pretty cool. Depending on the trap, you can place them on the walls, ceiling, and yes, the ground. The ground ones are more focused on pressure traps that will deal damage when someone walks over it, where I found both the walls and the ceiling ones are more ranged like attacking traps. Enemies come in different shapes and sizes. Some are ranged, others are more melee focused, and some are just huge. But during a wave, you're not just sitting there. You are still in control of your hero, and you can move around and do various moves along with attacks, so that you're an active fighter in the battle. I went with the crossbow guy, and you have a few moves that are on cooldowns along with a special that you can build up. The shooting felt pretty good, and all of the over-the-top violence is great as well. For me, I think the magic of the fun in this game comes from being able to pivot on what you're going to be doing during a match, because even during an attacking phase, you can still earn funds that will then allow you to build up more towers. So you are shooting, jumping, and also building more defenses if you so choose. Now during a level, you'll also earn threads. These provide you with enhancements that can be used just for that level. You have a choice from 3, and what you go with is based on your playstyle. At the end of a match, you'll return back to your base. It's here where you can upgrade your character, unlock new traps, and even upgrade your traps as well. So this cycle of preparing for waves, managing and fighting the waves, and then spending your winnings, it's very fun and a rewarding loop. When it comes to flaws that I've encountered so far, outside of some of the character designs maybe leaning a bit too much in the Fortnite direction, I absolutely hated the flying guy that will cast a stone ball at you. If this thing hits you, you can't move for a few seconds. Okay, fine, it's an enemy attack, I'll dodge it. The problem is that this thing will home right in on you. It's like a heat-seeking Medusa missile. Now maybe this is easier to deal with in co-op, but at times in single player I would get hit by this, and then escape from it and then be hit again. Maybe I just suck at this game, but it felt like this area needs to be greatly tweaked or fixed, because you could get into those cycles where you're unable to move for a long time, and it just kills the flow of the action. It's honestly really cheap. I am still early in this game, and these are just my thoughts on it right now after playing for a bit. What I have played I generally did enjoy. I only played in single player, so I am curious to try out some of the co-op. I do have a question for longtime Orcs Must Die fans. The series has been around for a while. There were 3 previous games. So while I'm having fun playing this one, I don't have the knowledge of the history that many of you might have from playing the prior games. So for those of you that have played the prior games and now play Deathtrap, how are you finding this one? How does it measure up for the series? Is this the best one or is it the worst one? I'm having fun with it, but I am curious what longtime fans think. So yeah, Orcs Must Die, it's a newer action tower defense game, provides a lot of upgrades, a few different heroes to select from that have their own abilities and weapons. The game can be played in co-op. It's pretty good. Are you interested in Orcs Must Die Deathtrap? Have you played the other ones? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.